Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about what happens to your body when it is deprived of sleep. So the key idea we're covering today is that, again, level of awareness is constantly changing. And we're going to be looking specifically at, obviously, sleep deprivation within that area of learning. Okay, so sleep deprivation quite obviously has a negative effect on the body and its biological processes. Okay, now this being deprived of sleep, this often leads to a sleep debt. Okay, so think about, you can have a money debt where you don't have enough money that as you need. This is the same for sleep. So it's really that accumulation of the difference between the amount of sleep that you actually need and the amount of sleep that you actually get. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you actually accumulate a sleep debt. Important to note here though that say you spent 3 years of your life not quite getting enough sleep, that debt doesn't keep accumulating. It doesn't become unreasonable. You wouldn't have to then sleep for 3 months to catch up on your sleep debt. It's a little bit more of a short-term term, I guess. So I'm thinking about a sleep debt maybe for a week or a day, that it's accumulation of the difference there. All right. Next, looking at sleep. So we covered this in one of the earlier videos. We know that these are the reasons that we need sleep. So trying to figure out here, obviously, if you're not getting sleep, you're missing out on these really good things. And so some of the effects, I guess, are mainly to do with mood, your cognitive task performance, so your ability to think and process information, your ability to make decisions and pay attention to things, and also your motor skills, your ability to do things with your body and your hands, etc. So some of the symptoms you will experience, I'm sure, again, as Year 12s, you would have experienced these on at least one occasion this year. So obviously tiredness, you're going to be quite irritable, you might have problems concentrating and remembering information, which is why teachers always harp on you about make sure you get enough sleep, because often when you're really sleep deprived, information just isn't going into your brain. You often have slower reaction times, and we'll talk a little bit more about this later. You will have alterations in appetite. Some people lose their appetite, but it's quite common to actually have an increased appetite. And you also have an inability to tolerate stress, as well as what you could if you weren't sleep deprived. Now, some of the effects of sleep deprivation, so I guess thinking a little bit more long term, is that your immune system actually becomes less effective at dealing with small bugs and things. And again, everything with an asterisk on this page we will be revisiting later. You will have increased fatigue, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that is. Depression rates actually increase among those who are sleep deprived. You are not as productive in the workplace or in studying, or whatever it is you might be doing. You're at a greater risk of heart disease and also motor vehicle accidents. So quite a lot of money is actually dedicated by the Motor Accident Commission into educating people about getting enough sleep before they drive. Okay. Now, if you are sleep deprived for a really long period of time, this can lead to quite serious health problems and even hallucinations. So it's not very nice to think about, but sleep deprivation is actually one of the worst methods of torture, and it can actually drive people quite crazy. So quite a few unethical research studies about that that you can look up if you're interested. But yeah, depriving people of sleep is really, really harmful. So just a little bit of information. We will be covering sleep hygiene, which is things to do to improve your sleep later. But just some general points is to avoid sleep deprivation, you need to stick to a consistent schedule. So even during the holidays, try and keep that same schedule that you would normally have during the term. Create a quiet and comfortable sleep environment, which is why we often talk about not studying in your room, making that a really quiet, peaceful place. Resolve any problems or issues or confrontations or arguments, whatever it might be, before going to bed. And again, establish that really clear routine. Things to avoid. Avoid exercising late at night. I know it's hard, a lot of you have sport, but if you're feeling sleep deprived, struggling to sleep, avoid exercising late. Avoid eating right before bed. Avoid consuming caffeine, and avoid a loud sleeping environment as well. Okay, so that's it for this video, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye.